안녕하세요 여러분, 저는 여러분의 한국어 친구 나탈리아입니다. 오늘은 터틀의 Korean for Beginners라는 교과서를 리뷰하겠습니다. 사실은 한국을 처음으로 배우기 시작했을 때 이 책을 내 학교에 도서관에서 빌렸어요. 진짜 좋아해서 샀어요. 이 책은 다른 한국어 교과서이랑 진짜 달라요. 사실은 이 책은 Narrator에 있어서 좋아요. 왜냐하면 그 느낌이 달라요. 처음 느낌. 예를 들어 그 한국어로 쓰시면 그 판말 서일 것 같아요. 다른 교과서를 춘돌말로 서요. That example's a little weird. 한국어를 어떻게 말하는지 몰라서 영어로 말할 거예요. So like I was saying, this book is very different from other Korean textbooks. Why? Well, for one, this textbook comes with a narrator, and he is hilarious. Like he makes jokes and it feels like you're kind of like reading a message that your friend sent to you about Korean. And like just to talk about like the advantages of this book, there's the narrator and it's a very entertaining read. Two, there's like culture segments, and I love culture segments. And there's like one at the end of each chapter and they're really fun. Like I remember one was about how you ask someone to marry you, because the structure is like a little different from in English. Like the wording is different, so like if we try to use like the way we say it in English and translate it into Korean, it sounds really weird. So they're like, don't say it like this, say it like this, and just things like that. I'm like hugging the book. But so narrator is entertaining. There's culture segments. They're like everything is like the chapters are super short. I remember I think the longest chapter is like 7 pages, which is really like 3.5 pages or 4 pages front and back. So they're really short and bite-sized. So for me, I was able to finish the whole book and not feel like it was a really big daunting task because they were so short. I'd read one chapter and then be like, let me go ahead and read the next one. Like it'll only be like 30 minutes or so. Like it's fine. And like I'd keep reading. So I think like I actually read this book cover to cover, which I feel like is really rare to say. At least for me, that's really rare to say. Another thing is this book comes with audio files. You can see right here, it comes with a CD, and like there are sentences in here, and it'll tell you like, oh yeah, like here's the track that you need to go to hear this like this sentence, or like this I guess Korean letter is what I should call it, because it also teaches you kind of how to read Korean. I think the explanation could probably be a little better, but it does. So it'll like, here's the pronunciation on this letter. It's what we'll call the Hangul letters, so let's call them letters. So I think this book is great, like as a supplement to other books. So for the disadvantages of this book, it's kind of short. Like, look how skinny this is. And that's because it's an overview. After reading this book, I don't think you'll feel confident in anything. I know that sounds really bad, but like you'll feel like familiar with a lot of things, but you won't feel like confident. Like, yes, I have mastered this grammar point. No. I want to say everything is just an introduction. Like this is what it says, Korean for beginners. And no, it says mastering conversation, but it's not mastering. It's not. I remember they introduced like 7 particles in one chapter, and each explanation was like this much. Like this much is not gonna make me feel confident in using this particle. But it was nice. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was a particle. Like, cool. Like now I'm aware, and now I'm gonna say it in other sentences. So it was great for that, but it's not something that's, if you're looking for one textbook to learn Korean from, do not get this one. Do not get this one. I think like it's great and I love it, but it's not meant to be your only textbook. It's like a supplement, like fun kind of read, make you familiar. Maybe read this before you start learning Korean if you're unfamiliar with Korean. Another like weird thing about this textbook was there are no like practice sentences in here anywhere. There's nowhere for you to there's no exercises for you to do yourself, nothing. Like there's examples for you to read, but there's nothing where you're actually like writing anything. So there's no practice questions or anything like that. And then the vocabulary in here is like really random. Like they'll have like extra vocabulary and it'll be so unrelated to anything else. Like these chapters, they don't have like I want to say each chapter is centered around a grammar point or something in grammar. So it's not like other textbooks where it's like, okay, in chapter 1 we're going to talk about school life. Chapter 2 we're going to talk about shopping. It's not like that. So like the vocabulary is really weird. Like they'll use it in the chapter, but it's like the most random vocabulary, and sometimes they don't even sometimes they're not even related to each other, or it'll be like this weird little box in the corner and it'll be like colors, and it'll be like, okay. It's kind of odd, but all in all, I like this textbook. I think it's fun to read when you've already got a different, maybe structured Korean study plan already going on. If you're using other textbooks and then you just want something else, maybe you just want to read this and like fill in some gaps or something, this is great. If you're wanting to maybe become familiar with Korean before you start learning Korean, this is great. But if it's your this is how I'm gonna learn Korean, or you only have money for like one textbook for Korean, this is not the textbook. This isn't it. But yeah, so that's my opinion or my review of this textbook. In a second, I'll give you guys I'll show you the inside, real short. So thanks for watching.
So this is what the front cover looks like. When you open it up, you can see that there's a chart on the left-hand side. It basically shows you how you write each letter in Hangul, which I thought was really, really cool. And then as we flip on to chapter 1, you can see that it's just an introduction into Korea and Korean, and then on the left is that box vocabulary I've been telling you guys about, and then on the right is the culture segment, which is about not talking, but texting in Korean. And then we're going to go on to chapter 2, and in chapter 2 you start to see those little camera icons. I guess they're not icons, they're little pictures that I told you guys about for the audio files and the video files. And then as we move forward, you see it goes into structuring sentences in Korean, and it's also got the little earphones for listening to tracks about pronunciation and example sentences. And then as we move on to chapter 5, you can see the short examples, you can see the short explanations for each particle that I've been telling you guys about. This is basically how the rest of the book is set up. It's got the grammar structure in that dark box, and then an explanation with some example sentences. And then we're just gonna hurry on through the rest of the book. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and you found it helpful. If there are any other Korean textbooks you want me to review, let me know. 다음에 봐요.